podcast TiVi Talk in Virtual. I'm very excited because this is our first ever episode. And before we go any further, let me introduce myself. My name is Vanya as your host, and today we're going to talk about school in virtual. But I am not alone. I will be accompanied by three amazing speakers who have experienced online learning, and they will share with us about their experience in virtual learning. Now, before we go any further into our podcast, let me introduce our amazing speakers. First, we have Anguri Nasywa. Hello, Anguri, how are you?
Hi Vanya, and hello to all our listeners. I'm fine and very excited to share my story today.
That's amazing to hear. Now, moving on to our second speaker, we have Olivia Putri. Hi, Olivia, how's everything?
Hello everyone, it's very great to be here. Well, everything is fine, I guess. And I'm still trying to go through my final exam, but I am super excited to be here with you and the other speakers.
Wow, good luck on your finals. By the way, last but not least, we have our last speaker, Fritsa. Hi Fritsa, how are you?
Oh my god, I'm so happy right now because I can't wait to share my online learning experience with everyone here.
Awesome! Our speakers are very excited and so am I. Now, before any further ado, let us start with our topic, shall we? I want to start with Anguri Nasywa. So, Anguri, are you still attending online classes?
Yes, of course, I took online class since I registered as a student at Erlangga University since the first semester until now. I'm currently in semester 3, so I have been studying online for almost 2 years.
Wow, so you're a senior now. By the way, have you ever experienced any technical challenge when you're attending online classes? And if you have, what is the biggest technical challenge for you? And how did you handle it?
Well, sometimes, especially when I'm out of the town, it is very difficult to get a stable signal. In addition, I often miss information about lecture due to unsport device. And I often worry about being late in submitting my assignment. By the way, sometimes we also get unclear assignment, and it is a challenge to get further information because not all lecturer will respond quickly. Actually, I found several ways to overcome the technical challenge. I minimize quota usage by using Wi-Fi at home, and if I worry about submitting my assignment late, I try to submit my assignment earlier. So, it's safe. When it comes to a lecturer who don't respond quickly, the solution is to ask the lecture assistant as the lecture representative.
Wow, that's nice. And do you have any tips for any students out there who are probably going to start their online classes soon?
Okay, so it's not much, but I hope it's help. First, to save the cost of taking online class at home, it is better to use Wi-Fi instead of using data package to save your internet data usage. Second, if you are not at home, before taking the class, try to prepare for all of your needs, such as the device, internet, signal, and make sure you are in a conference place while taking online class. You are more focused. Third, and if you have any difficulties or face of obstacle, always ask for permission or give the news to your lecturer or classmate. Also, you have to learn on your own to catch up with the materials. Good luck!
Wow, that is such amazing tips. I bet a lot of our listeners are taking down their notes now. Thank you so much, Anguri, for your tips. Now let me move to our next speaker, Olivia Putri. Well, Olivia, if you can rate from 1 to 10, how difficult it is for you to understand the material while doing online learning?
Maybe 7.5. But first of all, I like to say that the difficult things in online school are not really about the struggle of understanding the materials. Honestly, let me tell you, the real problem is when you get a group assignment and sometimes one of your group members is an annoying person, like I don't know, sometimes he or she doesn't do their homework effectively, and slow at responding to our group chats, and sometimes they don't even join our focus group discussion. Like on a group assignment, we should do a lot of brainstorming session, right? And can you imagine how it feels like to be in a group with that kind of person? Because I've been through it and it's quite traumatic for me. Well, thank you. Next.
Yes, oh my god, there's always that kind of person who becomes the burden of the group, right? Well, by the way, a lot of people also told me they usually do cunning tricks to avoid being asked by their teachers. Well, do you have any similar experience like that? And from that, do you think that the communication through online learning is effective enough?
I do have a similar experience, but this is one of my bad experiences, and please do not try this at home, okay? We have a political communication course, right? Well, I'm not gonna say the lecturer's name, but he has a rule that the students should turn on their camera when we're in class. At that time, I just woke up. Of course, I wasn't wearing my hijab, and I hadn't even washed my face yet. And suddenly, he said that if the students do not turn their camera, then the lecturers would give them a quiz. Well, of course, I panicked. Of course, I panicked because I was not ready and I got scared. And do you know what I did after that? I left. I left the Zoom meeting for, I don't know, 30 minutes, I guess. Yes, 30 minutes. That was quite nerve-wracking and funny at the same time. Well, anyway, I think communication through online learning is quite effective if both the lecturers and students respect and willing to understand each other's condition. That's it.
Oh my god, that is such a funny story. Oh my god, I can't believe that. Okay, by the way, do you feel any significant differences between online learning and offline learning? And how do you keep up with online learning now?
I think the difference is when we do online learning, we become more productive because we can multitask easily at home and we don't feel any tiredness after the course. Like when the course is over, we don't have to go to our home and get tired for walking or driving our motorcycle to go to home, right? I don't know if it's gonna help you guys, but I also have a trick to keep up with materials on online learning. So when the course is running, I also do recording on my device. So when I forget about the details of the materials, I just open it and write some notes down. Yeah, I guess that's it. Simple, but it works.
Wow, that is such a smart trick, Olivia. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Well, since we've been talking to our two speakers, now let me move to our last speaker, which is Fritsa. Okay, Fritsa, as we know, when we're doing online learning, we almost spend 90% of our time in front of the screen, right? And I want to ask you, how many hours do you really spend in front of your screen? And do you ever feel tired from doing that every day?
Every day I spend my time from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. And that's me having to stay in front of the monitor screen. Not yet, when lecture give homework, surely until night and even midnight. I have to be in front of the monitor screen. sometimes I forget to the time it worse. I've been all day in the room just because of online teaching and learning activities. Yes, of course, this makes me bored and tired.
Wow, that must be very tiring, right? And as we know, when we do online learning, we almost do our activities online, and a lot of people are struggling with time management. I wonder if you ever have that kind of issue before, and if you have, how did you learn from your experience?
Yes, I've had difficulty of managing time because in addition to college, I also follow other organizations and activities. That's why sometimes the times can be the same. And the lesson I can take from this issue is I need to be able to discipline myself and be able to know which should be a priority of me and which one to be not a priority.
Well, that's a good one. But beside of the physical challenges that students have to face while doing online learning, some of them also struggle with burnout or other forms of emotional exhaustion. Do you have any tips for that?
Okay, because I was one of those people who experienced it, then I will give you tips. But it's all according to my own version. So if you feel bored and tired, you can rest or refreshing in any form. In addition to reduce stress, you also can spend your time with your family or those close to you, such as your girlfriend, best friend, or friend. So even though you're busy, your communication with them stays away. Well, by the way, for communication with girlfriend or boyfriend and friend through online will be discussed in episode 2 and 3. So, make sure you watch it, guys.
Well, I completely agree with that. Since we're under so much pressure, we have to let it out, whether to our family or friends or loved ones. And Fritsa was right. If you want to know more about that, please stay tuned with our second and third episode since we're going to talk about those topics. By the way, I want to say thank you for Anguri, Olivia, and Fritsa for sharing their experiences with us, and I hope it is helpful for our listeners. And for those of you who have listened from the very beginning until the very end, thank you so much for listening to our podcast, and we'll see you in another episode. Thank you, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy. Bye!
Hi everyone, we're back on TiVi, Talk in Virtual, with another interesting topic about being virtual. So, today we are going to talk about making and maintaining friendship in the virtual world. Now, we are here with Audy, Hafsa, and Rian, and they will give us some of their experiences, their perspectives about friendship online. So, all of you entered university life during the pandemic and everything was already done online. So what was it like finding new friends in university?
Hello Icha and hello everyone who listens to this podcast. Much like dating, finding friendships required you to take chance and put yourself out there. Well, now we were in pandemic and we cannot make friends by meeting up. So when I got accepted into the university and joined an online group on WhatsApp, I took the initiative to initiate a dialogue through self-introductions and greetings. It's kinda difficult for the first time, but I see all my friends are very friendly and I'm glad to know that.
I see. How about you, Hafsa?
Alright, thank you Icha. Hello everyone, I'm Hafsa. Personally, I like to talk to people one-on-one because I feel like I get to know them a little bit better. In this pandemic era, I usually communicate with them via social media, Zoom meetings, and other online platforms. I think it's a fair share of exchange that I get to know them and they get to know me better. I think that's where a bonding develops between us because no matter where you go in college, there is always going to be people who share the same personality as you, and you just have to search for them. I know it's going to be hard, but I swear to you, they are there.
I see. So, even though you prefer talking face to face, you believe that we can still use online platforms to find friends. But do you find any difficulties using online platforms compared to meeting in person, Hafsa?
When using online platforms for the first time, of course, there are some difficulties because we need to adapt first. Also, maybe the difficulty is more in technical issues rather than others, like bad internet connection, for example.
Okay, so now Rian, what was it like for you?
Thank you, Ja. Hello, everyone. Although all activities are carried out predominantly from home, it is still important for me to build relationship with fellow students. Finding friends on campus can make it easier for me when I need help with college assessments or have discussion. To make friends during college is quite easy because my friends are very easy to mingle with others. With other lecturers like this, I communicate with my friends and spend more time on the Zoom meeting applications.
Okay, so what about outside the university environment? Are there any of you who had the chance to find a friend online during this pandemic?
Honestly, I don't have any except for my college friends.
No, I don't have it.
I myself do not have the opportunity to make friends other than college friends.
Okay. So most of you made friends in the university environment, right? And do you feel like you develop a new habit in terms of communicating with friends using online platforms? Or is it just the same compared to having friends online?
Recently, based on my experience and what I've learned during pandemic, I kind of started to develop my self-consciousness and awareness of my online life. For example, by not giving way too much information about my personal life, since that person I know it's not in real life. I only give away information which is only necessary to say and not sensitive information.
Yeah, I can see that a lot of people are becoming more aware about their private information. What about Rian?
Personally, I am more open with my personality only with close friend I can trust.
Okay, Hafsa?
Yes, I do. Me and my friends have developed a routine of watching the same show at the same time through online platforms such as Zoom meetings or Discord while texting in the background. We laugh and cry at the same things in real time, and it's a great way to feel together even when we're far apart.
Wow, interesting. I see that all of you develop new routines in different ways. Some are fun, some are more serious, like about awareness. Now, I also want to ask, how do you maintain your online friendship?
To maintain an online friendships, it's just like maintaining a real life friendships. I personally find that being respectful and open-minded it's not only to your offline friends or to the people you meet in person, but it also valid on any platform. Whenever we are going online, being respectful and open-minded is the key to maintain a friendship.
Okay, it may seem obvious, but the most crucial step to staying in touch is to continue to reach out and talk to people. Personally, I usually communicate with my online friends through online platforms such as WhatsApp. I think staying connected with our friends is very important, and it will help you set up routines and relationships that will hopefully continue when you can meet face to face again.
I see. So being open-minded and keeping communication is key. Also, I am sure that all of you also had friends that you've met in real life before this pandemic hits. How do you maintain your friendship now that you cannot meet often?
In my opinion and my personal view, I have no issue with maintaining my friendships with my offline friends. We know each other more than we know the people online. We maintain our friendships through social media since we cannot meet during the pandemic. What we do is we spend time together through phone or video call together. That is basically how I maintain my offline friends. In simple terms, not losing any contact with all my friends is the key to maintaining my friendship.
The most frequent way that I stay in touch with my old friend is I send them a funny tweet. And that's kinda just like, hey, I saw this and it reminded me of you in some way. And then they send me the same response. So I think just like keep on updating our friends of what's happening in our life is really important. It's just even showing the other person that you're still willing to reach out and like share parts of your life.
In my opinion, I have a way to maintain a friendship even though I haven't met in person by discussing and telling stories through the Zoom meeting application and through chat on WhatsApp.
Okay, so last question. Do you think online communication has helped your friendship, or is it even more difficult to have friends now that you cannot meet in real life?
From my point of view, I personally like to meet every person or friend I know in person since I find it's more fun. Especially we can do things that we want easily without any circumstance, and it's also find myself that I'm already used to meeting people often on offline rather than online.
Alright, I think it's kinda difficult for me because it changed the way how I interact with my friends. I can't always be available to hang out, or I might have things going on in my personal life that I can't share as easily anymore. I hope this pandemic will end soon and we all can get back to doing what we loved before. Thank you.
I think it's quite helpful to add new friends through online communication and social media platforms. Also, I measure to communicate with me in real life. With a situation like this, inevitably, I have to be able to adapt by using the existing platform to be able to communicate with my friends. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for giving your time to be in today's talk show. I learned a lot from different points of views, and I'm sure the viewers can also get some new insights from you all. So guys, through this interview, we learned that even though we are in the middle of hard times and we might find difficulties communicating with our friends online or making new friends, but at the end of the day, we can still use online platforms and other different ways to stay connected with our friends, and it is also possible to make some new friends. So go put yourself out there and connect with some people. So that's it for today. We'll see you in another episode of TiVi with another interesting topic about being virtual. See ya!
Hi guys, how are you? Welcome back in TiVi Talk in Virtual with another interesting topic about being virtual. But before we start, let me introduce myself. Hi everyone, I am Diane as your host here, and today we're gonna talk about love in virtual, where I will talk about some interesting stuff with some amazing speakers who have experience in love virtually. First of all, let me introduce our amazing speaker. Please welcome to Joan and Mevi. Hello guys, thanks for attending TiVi today. Okay, today I will ask both of you some question about virtual relationship. Are you ready right now, guys? Well, first, I want to ask to Joan. Joan, have you ever felt in love with someone in virtual? Can you share a little bit of your story here?
fell in love virtually, but I did meet someone whom I love virtually. So yes, I can say that I also feel love virtually. So I met my current boyfriend from a dating app, and I downloaded that for fun. Actually, it really was a type of cheesy virtual romance story where I had a dating app for fun, but I ended up having someone I can introduce to people to as my boyfriend. But he is also a friend of a good friend of mine, so I think it definitely plays a factor in why I let us get to know and meet each other at the end. But back to your question, Diane, I think the feeling of love virtually came from our bond that we built, which of course involves actual offline dates.
Wow, this is an interesting story. Okay, let me move to the next question. Well, this is maybe the most asked question of people who don't feel love in virtual. But how can you trust someone you've never met before and choose to have a relationship with him? What do you expect before?
This one's tricky. Trusting someone you've never met is actually very tricky because you don't know their intention. I personally have a few requirements on meeting people online, but for the record, the only person I met online whom I actually ended up meeting directly in terms of dating is my current boyfriend. So I'm not that experienced, but I do have some helpful precautions. First of all, you have to have common connection and can verify their existence and whereabouts. Secondly, to compensate for number one, if you guys don't have common friends, is video call just so you can make sure the other person is real. The video call is when you know the other person is living their life and that they are not creepy. We are building common trust here. We want to make sure both parties are real people and are interested in each other. Obviously, in a relationship, we have to have trust. No. But I also think it's very important to meet the other person, especially if you guys live on the same island. I honestly never expected to have a boyfriend from a dating app, especially because people say it's useless, but I think it's worth the try.
Well, if we don't try, we will never know, right? I want to ask you more. So, you says that you were always trying to build your trust with him, but moreover, do you feel that sometimes you have a problem in your virtual relationship, and how did you overcome it?
Yes, of course, especially during the getting to know period. Even if we have met and gone on dates a couple of times, the number one problem would be how I did not exactly know the other person's history and how they are in real life, in their environment. I did not see them directly and therefore cannot observe their behavior, in which all of those things affect trust and attraction so much, which is the base of any kind of relationship, really. Luckily, we were very open and truthful to each other, so we just basically talked about everything, and it honestly helped a lot. So my suggestion is try to have an open communication dynamic and address emotions wisely. So address feelings, concerns, and questions nicely, so you both understand each other more and therefore have a healthy dynamic. I'm sure you know where that is going.
Great! Then, can you give an encouragement to people who are still undergoing virtual relationship during this pandemic era?
Well, I do not know what else to say besides just go ahead if you really, really like this other person. And I hope you guys find what you're looking for. Have fun and stay safe, I guess.
That was such an amazing interview. Thank you so much, Joan. I bet a lot of our listeners are already taking down their notes. Okay, next let me move to our second guest. Hi Mevi, it's your turn. I will ask some question for you, Mevi. I heard you were in a long distance relationship right now. Can you share a little bit of your story here?
Well, yes, I am in a long distance relationship at this moment. So I've known my boyfriend since 2016. We started off as close friends, and in 2020 we started this relationship. But anyway, the long distance relationship itself hasn't been so long. It all started approximately a month ago when my boyfriend passed the national selection and got into the national taekwondo training. The training takes place in Bogor while we live in Jember, so of course, there's no other way than staying apart for an uncertain period because he needs to move to Bogor. When I first heard about it, obviously I was happy. I was glad that he passed. However, I couldn't deny that I might feel a bit sad about that long-distance relationship stuff. People say that LDR is tough, so I was scared at first. It might sound so cringy, but I even cried literally almost every day during the first week of the LDR. You can call me a crybaby now. But anyway, now I am completely fine and I think I'm getting used to it.
I see. Alright, I want to ask you more. During this LDR relationship, long distance relationship right now, what do you feel? Like the joys and sorrow?
So far, we never got into a really big quarrel. But of course, sometimes we do have some arguments and misunderstandings. Sometimes I also worry a little bit too much about how he is doing, whether he meets another attractive chick or flirty cute girl or, some things like that. But what I am so thankful for is that we always end up understanding each other, convincing each other, and just letting the arguments slide. At the end of the day, somehow I feel like those arguments actually bring us closer and make our bond stronger.
I am glad to hear that. People who have never been in a long distance relationship may not be able to relate. So I will ask, how do you maintain a relationship when you don't know what your partner is doing there?
Okay, so first of all, I acknowledge that everyone might have their own recipe in maintaining their relationship. So here, a disclaimer, I'm not an expert and I just want to share a bucket of my personal experience. So in my case, I think communication is the key. Having a healthy conversation indeed plays a very crucial role in my relationship. My boyfriend and I usually have lots of things to do from morning until afternoon. So we have such an agreement to have a video call, voice call, or simply just have a chat at night. We share what we've been through that day, what we feel, what makes us happy, what makes us upset, and etc. Through those talks, we maintain the bond between us, and I think that's what keeps us together. Besides communication, I think it's also been an open secret that trust is also the key of a relationship. In my opinion, a million words wouldn't matter if we don't trust each other, right? I almost forgot. Honesty. It definitely plays a very significant role as well in my relationship. So, I think that's all. Okay, let me sum up. So my ultimate recipe is communication, trust, and honesty. That's it.
It really sounds good. This is the last question anyway. Can you give encouragement to people who are still in long distance relationship, especially in the virtual era right now?
To be honest, I don't have much to say, but I want to tell you all that if your partner is the right one, no matter how hard it could be and no matter how far it is, you both will strive to make the relationship work. Just remember these things: communication, trust, and honesty. Without those things, I don't think a relationship could work.
Okay, thank you for giving your time to be in today's talk show. I learned a lot from different point of view, and I'm sure the viewers can also get some new insight from you all. So guys, through this interview, we learned that even though we are in the virtual love life relationship, we can still get through it all as long as we have trust in our partner. Thank you so much to listen TV, and have a great day everyone!